Hello everyone. Today we're going to be working the abdominals from a side lying position. So first of all, we're going to set ourselves up on the elbow. So we're going to have legs together and we're going to come onto the elbow. Okay, now I've got the knees bent. My feet are in line with the spine, so the knees are in front of me. Okay, now whenever we're in this position, we need to make sure that we're not sinking down towards the mat. So the first thing I want you to think about is drawing the shoulder blades down your back, so you feel like you're pushing this supporting shoulder down away from your ear. And take your hand and just put it on your ribs, and then just feel like you're just lifting the ribs away from the mat a little bit. Now, a good idea is to do that when you engage through the center, so you can put that belt on, lift the ribs, and then you're nicely supported through the spine. Top hand on the hip. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift the hips off the mat. So we only need to lift a little bit, just a couple of inches. So we're going to take a breath in to prepare, and then as you breathe out, we're going to lift the hips up and then come back down. So you can see I'm not lifting too high at all. Now just make sure that you've got this supporting elbow underneath the shoulder, because that will make it a little bit easier to go up. Okay, it can put quite some pressure through the shoulder. It can be quite tiring. Okay, so if you feel like you need to breathe at any point, then that's fine. Just stop. Take a breath. Let's just do one more. Here we go. Breathing out. And in. Wonderful. Okay, now this time we're going to do the same again, but we're going to stay up this time and we're going to straighten out the top leg. So let's take a breath in to prepare. And then as we breathe out, we're going to lift the hips. Now, straighten out the top leg, but keep the toe on the floor. Take this top arm and reach up and over the top, and then bring it all the way back down. And again, arm goes up over the top, and then bring it back down. So we'll breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Here we go. Last one. Wonderful. Okay, come down to the mat. Bring the legs back together. Now, let's lie down on our mat this time. So you'll need a towel this time, okay? We're going to have the bottom arm out straight, and then we're just going to put that towel there just to support the head. Okay, so we're going to straighten out the legs. Okay, but I don't want to be in a completely straight position. I just want to bring the feet forwards a little bit, so I'm sort of in a bit of a banana shape. Okay, so I've got this free hand just resting on the mat there. Now we're going to lengthen the legs and see if we can float them up off the mat. So we need to make sure that we're fully engaging through the center. See if you can create a little bit of lift through the waist as well away from the mat before you start. Squeeze the front of the thighs. Really get the legs as straight as you can before you start. We're going to lift the legs one at a time. So we're going to float the top one up, and then we're going to bring the bottom one up to meet it, and then lower the bottom one, lower the top one. So we do a lift, a lower, and lower. Lift, and lift, and lower, and lower. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Wonderful. Let's just do it one more time. Here we go. Fabulous. Okay, let's bend the knees again. Okay, so we want the feet in line with the spine, the knees are forward. So we're going to do a forward kick then this time. So we're going to float the top leg up and straighten it out. Now at this point, make sure that you've got your ankle, knee, hip and shoulder all in a nice straight line. We're going to do a forward kick. Make sure you're nicely supported around the center. We don't want any movement through the middle of the body now. So as you breathe out, I want you to kick that leg forwards and then kick it back. So we do a little kick forwards and a kick back. So when you bring the leg back, you come right back to that starting position where you're all nicely lined up. Okay, now you don't need to do a big kick forward, just a little swing is fine. Okay, make sure you're keeping that leg up. That's about hip height. That's where we want it. Let's just do one more, shall we? Wonderful, and then we'll bring those legs back together. Okay, we're going to finish off with one more where we're coming up onto the elbow again. So we're going to push ourselves up. Now, we've still got the knees bent. We're going to keep them bent. I've still got my knees forward of the body. Feet are still in line with the spine. Shoulder or elbows underneath the shoulder. Okay. Lift the ribs away from the mat. Okay. We're going to lift the hips again. Now, two alternatives for this one. You can lift and stay lifted and just hold the position. Or you can add in a little twist. So I'll go up and I'll show you the little twist. So the first thing we're going to do, I think, is reach up to the ceiling with that arm. And then as you breathe out, we're going to lift the hips up, and then we're going to stay up. So you can hold this position if you want to. If you want to challenge yourself more, take that arm and take it through the middle underneath and twist and look behind you. And then take the arm all the way back up. And then we do it again. So we twist through the middle. And then send the arm back up. And again, twist through the middle. Should we just do one more? And twist. Reach up to the ceiling, lower the hips. Bring the arm down. That was quite a challenging one. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Okay, so you're familiar on the exercises now. So we can just easily go from one exercise to the other this time. Okay, so let's set ourselves up again on this side. So we want to make sure that we've got the elbow directly underneath the shoulder. The knees are bent. Knees are slightly in front of the body again. Okay. Shoulders are down. Remember, don't sink into the mat. So draw the shoulders down. Lift the ribs out the mat as you engage through the abdominals. So you're nicely supported now all down the length of the spine. Free hand on the hip. Let's lift the hips up again. So take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll lift the hips up and back down. Breathe out to lift and lower. Breathe out, lift and lower. Wonderful. So don't forget, it's quite challenging through the shoulder on this one. So if you need to breathe the part way through, then that's fine. Shall we just do two more? Here we go. Last one. Fabulous. Okay, now if you wanted to, at this point, you could just come up, give the shoulders a little roll around, okay, and then we can come back down into position because we're going to do the same one again. This time we're going to go up, we're going to stay lifted, we're going to straighten out that top leg as we do it. So lift up the body, engage through the center, shoulder is down, and it's over the top of that elbow. So as we breathe out, let's lift the hips up again. Stay up this time. Straighten out the top leg, toe on the floor, and then reach the top arm over, and then bring it all the way back down. And breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, and breathing out. A couple more. Breathing in, and out. Breathing in, and out. Legs together. Bring the hips down. Wonderful. Let's go down onto the mat. So you need your towel again. So that bottom arm is out straight. Towel is there to support the head. So I'm going to straighten out the legs again, but remember, keep the feet slightly in front so you've got a bit of a banana shape going on. Okay, so we want to engage through the center, see if we can get a little bit of lift through the waist again. So the most important thing on this one is to lengthen out the legs before you start. So I'm squeezing the front of the thighs as much as I can before I even start. So this is where we're going to float the legs up and down. Free hand is on the mat. So here we go. We'll take a breath in to prepare. And then as you breathe out, we'll lift up and down and down. Up, down, down. Wonderful. So really feel like you're lengthening out those legs, so that you're lengthening them so much they're feeling really light now, making it really easy to float them out of the mat. Staying nice and strong through the center. Should we do a couple more? Here we go. Lift, lift, lower, lower, lift, lift, lower. Rest there. Wonderful. Okay, bend the knees. So we've got feet in line with the spine. Knees are in front of the body again, still engaging through the center, ready to do our forward kick. So we're going to straighten out the top leg. Remember to make sure you're nicely aligned, ankle, knee, hip and shoulder all in a nice straight line. Let's kick the leg forward again. So as you breathe out, we'll swing it forwards and swing it back. Swing it forwards and swing it back. So just a little swing forward is plenty. But the most important thing I want you to focus on again is when you bring that leg back. Okay, make sure that you bring it back to that starting position when you are all nicely lined up. Wonderful. Let's do a few more. Breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in. 2 more. Wonderful. Bring the legs back together. Ready to come back up onto the elbow then this time. Okay, so we're going to do that lift again, and we're going to add in the twist. If you want to, you can add it in. Okay, so the knees are bent again. They're in front of the body. The feet are in line with the spine. The elbow is underneath the shoulder again. I'm going to lift my ribs out of the mat as I put that belt on. I'm going to reach to the ceiling. If you're not doing the twist, just go up and hold that position. So here we go. So as we breathe out, we're going to lift the hips up. We're going to hold it there. Okay, so let's add in the twist this time. So let's feed the hand through, feet through, underneath you, look behind you, and then take the arm back up to the ceiling. And again, feed it through the middle, looking behind you, and then reaching back up to the ceiling. And again, feed it through the middle. Staying strong at the center for this last one. Wonderful. Then we can bring the hips down, bring the arms down, push ourselves up, give the shoulders a little roll around to finish.